Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the little cinematic trailer there. So yeah, I'm building some more Necromunda tiles. Now, I've never played the game. I have built some in the past, but unfortunately, like I'm saying every time, I run out of room. So when I run out of room, things get put in cupboards or hidden away, and then eventually I bin them. But this time, I'm definitely going to stick to my guns because I want to build 9 of these to also basically make up like a little city, whatever. So I'm going to build 9 of these, but there was a local gaming store near me, and I know they'd be more than happy to take these off my hands once they're complete. And then obviously anyone who wants to use them can play on them, which would be pretty cool. So that means I can make these and not worry about where to store them. So as you can see, yeah, it's made up from a plate that's 1 foot by 1 foot, as this seems to be the typical size the Necromunda sort of tiles are made on. So that's what I'm saying. I'm going to make up 9 of these, so it'll be like a 3 by 3. But obviously, I could go one step further and make 12 of them, and then it'd be a 4 foot by 3 foot sort of thing. So as you can see, yeah, I've already printed out quite a lot of bits, or I've got a bits box of 3D printed bits. Some of these bits were failed attempts, but that's fine because my sort of style of building is very derelict, very run down, and rusty. You'll have clearly seen from the that intro and possibly the thumbnail. Haven't done the thumbnail yet, so I can't tell you what that's got on it. But yeah, so lots of 3D printed bits. I will leave a link down below, guys, because most of these bits come from Print Minis. Yeah, over on my mini factory, I've used them loads of times before. Really love their stuff. And I say, if you're going to do like anything Necromunda wise, yeah, they've definitely got you covered with a whole variety of bits and pieces, more than you need. So you will see pretty much all the 9 boards I'm going to be making up. I would say at least 90% of each board comes from Print Minis. So yeah, go check them out, guys. Link down below. So this is a fun bit. I must admit, this is well, I am a big kid, and I'm just visualizing stories in my head. Um, of obviously all these sort of tiles are independent, but will be put together. So when I am building them, I want to make sure you can obviously get through one board from one side to the other. Otherwise, well, I was saying that you could make them so they're fully blocked in, so you have to go all the way around. But I don't. I would like the idea of having a board so that there's definitely plenty of playable space, different heights, but obviously plenty of places to hide behind as well. Um, so yes, it's that fine line of trying to get everything you can want in one board. That's why basically I dry fitted everything, as in just put things all over the place. Saw what it looked like, say visualized it in my head, a little bit of a gameplay scenario to see if it would work or not. And then yeah, just sort of built it up from there. So I must admit, I probably spent more time messing about moving things around than anything else. But that was just me being a big kid, having little stories in my head. And yeah, loving it. But this is where I must admit, I don't know what you guys are like, but this is where I have to be careful not to put too much stuff on here, because I can get carried away. So as you can see at the moment, yeah, there's some nice levels. There's some plenty of walls and things to hide behind, and there's a nice big open space as well. It's trying to keep the open space and not just fill it for the sake of, well, filling it. So one thing I have noticed when I've looked at lots of other people's Necromunda tiles, there's pipes, tubing, all that kind of stuff everywhere. I guess obviously these are quite industrial sort of places. So there's lots of, well, pipes and tubes carrying oil, don't know, gas, toxic stuff and all that. So yeah, I don't think you can go too wrong by adding in tons of pipes. If anything, you need more pipes. So yeah, so again, each tile as well. So for me, this tile in my head, I was thinking it's like a gas station. There's a little gas sort of thing right at the front of there. It's like a little forecourt, I guess. So this is where you'd go to get your gas. So that's why each tile I do, I am going to have an idea of what that tile is meant to represent. So guys, yeah, let me know down below in the comments if there's a particular sort of tile you think I should do, or just basically ideas to give me for tiles that I can make. And obviously they're all going to be quite industrial looking with lots of, well, pipes and tubes. But yeah, it'd just be nice for each one to be a specific thing. So I might do one that's like a forecourt and has some eateries that have plenty of like benches and seats and that sort of stuff. Um, a little bit of realism to all of the things. So yeah, building this up, as you can see, yeah, I used a bit of grout to fill in any gaps. Now I'm going to put some sand around the edges. So this is obviously just a nice way of making it look like any dirt and debris would have been sort of swept up against the walls. So that's why I'm using the sand just against the walls, or any kind of like objects that are around. So the other thing with this build I'm doing as well, you'd have seen my miniatures that I'm now finally painting a 40k Ork army, because obviously it's Armageddon and the 11th edition is just released. So for the first time, I'm putting out an Ork army, but their bases I'm doing all like sandy bases. So that's why this will have like a sandy sort of base to it. And again, my vision for this is some sort of hive city or whatever it's called, out in the middle of nowhere. Obviously pretty derelict. So yeah, the sands come in and basically taken the place over. Yeah, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So yeah, this thing, it still looks obviously too neat, too nice, too precise. We need to change that. So I'm using my little tool here. Obviously, this one isn't a Dremel, but if I say Dremel, then most people know what I mean. So yeah, this little non-Dremel tool, and just basically sort of carving bits into it, just making some sort of nooks, crannies, and more importantly, bullet holes. Obviously, this place, again, in my little storyline, has seen a ton of action. So yeah, you need some bullet holes, blaster holes, whatever sort of weapon may have caused these. And again, this is where I go nuts, and I really distress the thing and make it look like it's, well, like it's a dog's dinner, I guess. But again, this just adds to how I like the look of things. Again, if you watch any of my sort of videos where I make terrain or even some vehicles, I do like them to look a little bit beaten, bashed. And yeah, definitely seen better days. So that's all done. I just thought rather than sort of dusting off all this, well, dust that's turned up when I've put holes and put debris in the thing, I'm just going to spray it over it with a mix of PVA glue and water. And that obviously does sort of bond everything together. So it's kind of like ready for painting. Although just before I start painting, it still doesn't look like there's enough debris. So I've got another little bits box of, well, definitely bits. Not too sure what these are. So yes, I think on the floor there should be lots of, well, debris of some sort. So I need to go through and find a whole variety of things to sort of 3D print. I think there's things like mugs and cups, little Coke bottles, anything that might, well, trash, I guess, basically, is what I'm kind of thinking of. So again, this is where the more of this sort of stuff you put around, the more realistic, in a way, I guess, things look, because there is debris, bits and pieces, all kinds of stuff. And I say I will be doing sort of printing out some little Coke bottles and a whole variety of things, and maybe even like little toilet seats. Who knows? Printing out all sorts. So primed it in a sort of a desert sandy color, I guess. Again, cause in my head I'm thinking this is a desert sandy sort of look. So this is the magic stuff that I absolutely love using, and you've seen me use it a lot recently. Green Stuff World and their patinas. I think there's a range of 6 patinas. There's several videos I've done now using this stuff. Absolutely love it for obviously rust effects. But this first one I'm doing, this is like just a dirty sort of grime. So it'll make the nooks and crannies, again, all the edges where all the debris sort of blown into, they're going to look nice and dark and just basically messy, really. So if you've never used this stuff before, I am applying it liberally, which is what you're meant to do, because this stuff, it reactivates when wet. So the great thing is, obviously, put tons on, then you get a damp cloth and you wipe away any bits you don't want. I loved it as it was, so I kind of left it. So it does mean, though, obviously, you do need to do like a matte varnish over the whole of this. Otherwise, if you took it out, it started raining, it would, yeah, it would drip off. Or if your hands were wet, it would start to come off. So it does need a varnish to sort of seal it all in. But as you can see, again, this is where if you put sort of tons and tons of stuff on, it gets even rustier looking. So other areas where it's a bit flatter, it looks like there's less rust. But again, this is just like rust in a bottle. If you like rust as much as me, I do go over the top sometimes, but that's just because I love rusty looking things. Yeah, you're going to love this stuff by Green Stuff World. Again, links down below, guys, so go check out everything that's from Green Stuff World. Yes, so color-wise, I didn't really want to bring too much color back into this because I like the idea of it just being that rust bucket. And it looks like it's the Titanic being at the bottom of the ocean for 100 years. This has, yeah, this has well and truly been eaten by the rust. So a little bit of color here and there, obviously some red barrels, a little bit of green on some of the machinery parts and the tubing, and that's kind of it. So I didn't want to go too much on the color because I do like it being rusty. Although some of the rust areas don't have that much contrast. So I've got some black wash that I've made up, and I'm literally going to put that in areas and then just obviously dab it with a cloth. Again, just 'cause I only want this really in nooks and crannies, and not necessarily on flatter areas. But again, the great stuff with this is it just adds a little bit more contrast, a little bit more grime, a little bit more dirt look into the whole sort of thing. And yeah, again, it's nice and simple. So yeah, washes, dry brushing, and then the patinas by Green Stuff World. Yeah, they make this sort of painting really easy and more importantly, more fun because it is so easy, but great results. And again, this is where beauty is the eye of the beholder, all that malarkey. I love this look. Obviously, some people won't like this. It'd be too, I don't know, too messy, too chaotic. And other people might think it's not chaotic enough. So last kind of thing to do, although I always say last thing to do, then there's something else I find to do, and that's just to stick on some posters. So all you got to do is go into Google, type in Necromunda posters, and there's thousands, absolutely thousands of posters there, and little symbols as well. So I just printed a couple off, and then good old PVA glue them on. Once it all dries, then I do sort of distress them a little bit. I do sort of rip them here and there, and then put a little bit of a wash over some parts. Again, just to make it look like they've been here a long time as well. So just going to do the base. And as I say, I've been doing my little orc miniatures in a sandy base. Green Stuff World do these big boxes. And again, I'm going to do a video solely on these because these are just awesome. The amount of stuff you get in each box to make up, well, different kind of bases, it is just, yeah, it's just great. So it has all the cork, the fine sand, the glues you need, obviously the little grassy bits. But then more importantly for me, excuse me, it does have all the pigments. So I've only been using pigments now for the last sort of month. Really love these things. Again, so I'm using stuff that's been around for years and years and years, but first time me using it, and yeah, love it. It just gives great effects. So you can see on the little dude there, put it on the base, but I also put it on his boots. So again, it ties him in to looking like he's walking on that sort of terrain, which is just great. Two ways you can use this. Obviously, I'm just putting it on, brushing it in pretty hard, so it will go into nooks, crannies, and sort of stay in areas. You can mix this with some water and then paint it on. So then when it dries, obviously, it then obviously gives the effect of the dust and the dirt. But I quite like doing it like this because it really is dusty and dirty. And then what you do is once I've done all of this, I will sort of blow off any excess. And again, this obviously needs the matte varnish just to seal everything anyway. So then that seals it, and it kind of looks like this. And yeah, I love it. I say it's one rust bucket. You almost need a tetanus jab just to hold this thing because it's. But again, I think the rust looks great because of all the little holes, scratches, and everything else I kind of put into the terrain, so it doesn't look neat, doesn't look tidy. But yeah, I absolutely love this board. So guys, let me know down below what kind of ideas, themes I should be doing for the other boards. As I say, each tile will have its own kind of theme. So this one is kind of like the petrol station of the lot. But yeah, I can't wait to make more of these, and I say eventually have all 9 together at the local gaming sort of centre near me. Okay, guys, don't forget to check out the links down below to Green Stuff World and all their lovely stuff, as well as print minis if you want to get hold of the files to make these kind of terrains. Okay, guys, like, share, subscribe, leave comments, all that fun stuff. You all take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.